Hello, everybody.
Well, it's a nice, clear day. It's a Saturday. It's the first time that I've been out doing my Instacart thing this long in a little while on a weekend. And I'm kind of surprised because as beautiful as it is out, I've logged about, I don't know, 11, 12 miles out and away from the house, and I have yet to see a sign for a single yard sale. So I don't think I'm going to be doing any crate digging. In other news, Mark, the guy that has all the 78s, he wants me to come see him again in a couple of weeks. So I really look forward to that. Okay, so today in this video, I'm announcing a contest of sorts for the month of October. So stay tuned to the end for information on that. We're again just doing 5 random records today. First up, we have a neat little compilation soundtrack album, not incidental music, songs that were in a soundtrack. And give you a little bit of a hint, we've got Nilsson, we've got Richard Cheese. Who else have we got on here? We've got Cutting Crew. We'll just go ahead and do the reveal. Yes, it is the Lego Batman soundtrack, and this is the Joker variant. Joker variant on beautiful sort of green, and it says purple. That's more of a, I guess, sort of a violet vinyl that's translucent on one side, opaque on the other. This record is a lot of fun. There's a lot of humor even in the song covers that are on it. Comes with a nice little bifold inner with some liner notes and artwork. Very, very cool record. Well worth having, not very expensive to get. Next up, for fans of Italian prog, Alluminogeni Scolopendra. Hopefully I'm pronouncing all of that right. This is a very, very interesting album. It's psych prog crossover period, late 60s, early 70s. This is a red vinyl edition. Kind of give away the dating on this thing. Here's a picture of the band and wearing what's probably monkey fur. It's imagine ELP being bass, Hammond, and percussion most of the time. Only what these guys did is no bass. It's fuzz guitar, Hammond, and percussion much of the time. So gives it kind of an empty bottom end like some of the Doors material. The vocals on top are really, really heavy vibrato, very theatrical. A lot of it's kind of minor key, so it has that sort of Bach thing going on in it. Really nice, rich stuff, kind of sludgy, kind of heavy in its own sort of odd way. Not really from the guitar, because that's on the higher end so much as from that organ, just sometimes even being swapped out from Hammond for a legitimate pipe organ. So it's got a really, really heavy sound at times. First track is piano and is instrumental based and not quite as heavy as the rest of it. It's just a really, really good, really interesting and fun and exciting album. So I do recommend this a lot. Nice gatefold. If you don't speak the language, you could take a day and type all this into Google Translate. On the Phonet label in a nice opaque red. Really insane fire engine red. And that's a very heavy press, by the way. Feels like it could easily be a 180 gram press. So if you do see it around somewhere, that reissue, I would definitely recommend picking it up. Easily spotted, it has a sticker that will tell you right there that it's that edition. Number 3 is one that my viewers that are into punk and underground will really appreciate. We have one Jello Biafra, If Evolution is Outlawed, Only Outlaws Will Evolve, spoken word album. It's a 3 LP set. This is an alternative Tentacles release, so it is his own personal label. This is a first run, I guess. It's odd because it didn't come in a regular sleeve. It just comes in sort of this wrap containing 3 LPs. The LPs are all picture discs. The wrap unfolds into this wild poster with these paper doll cutouts of Jesus in various types of businessmen suits. Every side is a unique piece of artwork, some incredible artwork. Love this one with a sort of clock. And the theme of clocks seems to be something that's kind of a continuum on here, which goes with the logic of it being about industrialization and corporations and everything that's basically tearing the world apart. This one has an almost dolly-like feel to it, purposefully. This is actually one of my favorite pieces just because it's such an immense collection, 3 discs, and the artwork is just out of this world. And of course, you know, Biafra's spoken word albums are really fantastic listens anyway. The next 2 I've got are both live records, or live albums, we'll say, because one is a double. The other one should be a double, but is not. Not that it's missing a disc, I will explain. That is the disadvantages with these on top of being picture discs. For some people, if you're an audiophile, then you're worried about that. I just at least would hope for, you know, the content to be complete and be the original when they're doing a picture disc. Even if they're not really built for play. Occasionally, you know, people play them, and I play them because they're fun. Anyway, here it goes.
Hello, everybody.
Everybody knows that face. Unfortunately, this is not the full double classic album. This is just collected highlights from it. Do You Feel Like We Do is complete on there. The songs that are on there are complete. But it's kind of like when Casablanca did the Donna Summer live and more picture disc. They just put it on one disc and did highlights. They didn't produce both LPs. And they did something kind of weird. You see that got this sort of echoed art on the sides from the original album cover. Backside, it seems like they had no better ideas, so they came up with this sort of weird thing. But it is unique, to say the least. Anyway, a lot of folks just are not aware that this one is out there, but this is one of a string that came from A&M that are in these same sleeves and have the little numbered card. I think I showed in an early video that I have a few of their other ones on the wall here. The card is missing from the Brothers Johnson one. But the Groucho one has it, and so does the compilation No Wave, which No Wave is also out on a colored vinyl edition, and that's a great compilation album. Now, the other one that's suffered a bit is a Venom double LP. When it was released originally, like Frampton Comes Alive, like Kiss Alive, all the tracks segued with the audience sound and the interactions and things. For some reason, this picture disc reissue, I don't know if they lost the master tapes or what, all of this material that is on there, every single cut, I believe, it fades out and then comes back in. As if the tracks were initially separated the whole way, or as if it came from myriad different gigs, which I think it actually came from just 2. In addition to that, there's actually a couple of points in it where it goofs up and doesn't even have the live material. Like when the album originally came out, there's a live performance of Nightmare on it. Well, the live performance of Nightmare is not on this picture disc. It's actually the studio recording of it. Why? I don't know. Apparently they just, again, maybe lost the tapes. But I mean, there's video footage of that show. It's one of the Hammersmith shows, so They could have gone to the video source and restored it from there. I have no idea why they wouldn't have done that. Anyway, they are sharp-looking picture discs. There's only one singular piece of art that's on all four sides with them just labeled either 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D. So I'll show you this thing. It's supposed to be kind of like a red blood cell or something, which it does not look like. I'm not sure what they were going for with that, but they are cool looking. Okay, somehow there's a little bit of a room wear on the front cover of this, probably. I think that's why I got it. I got it very inexpensively. So there's this little trace of damage there at the very bottom in the front. It was open, but it has this little hype sticker, and it says that it comes on bloody picture discs for record store day. And, you know, inner sleeve with them being their clownish selves. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I say I can appreciate some of this material. I just don't take these guys seriously, because the whole devil rock thing is just so very campy to me. Some guys can do it where it's really, really kind of scary. This was the beginnings of it, so it's kind of like, oh, are we pushing your parents' buttons? It's more tongue-in-cheek, I think. It feels more fun. Fully illustrated inner sleeves as well, at least on one side. There's liner notes and lyrics and information on the other side. When I say scary, I don't mean to... I don't find any of this material scary. I find it kind of... It's just not something that I take seriously. But, you know, it's kind of like creature features. Some people are able to present it with a more ominous and oppressive kind of vibe than others. And these guys, to me, they didn't really have that. It's thrash. It's the beginnings of death metal. It's a little bit punk. And it's, for some reason, so catchy, a lot of it. It just drills itself into your head and doesn't go away. Maybe it's an acquired taste, but I just love everything that these guys did. Of course, the other sleeve, more illustrations from gigs, and, you know, and everything about it presents as, hi, we're so very 80s. Anyway, I suppose it is a red blood cell, you know. It certainly is interesting. And the sound quality on them isn't bad at all. It's just, for some reason, they're engineered with all those breaks between every single track, inexplicably. And also that some of the material's been swapped out for studio versions. Oddly enough, there was a CD with the red version of the cover that did the same thing with the tracks being broken up on chapter stops, and I'm not sure why, but I had that red cover LP, and it didn't do that. Everything played linear, so I really don't see the purpose in what was done with this and that CD pressing. Anyway, both of those discs, again, look pretty much exactly the same, except for the text stating which side. It is a great album, well worth having for anybody that's a fan of sort of extreme metal and the thrash period in metal as well. Well, actually, thrash just never went away, but it has its new variants and subgenres. But yeah, it's a good listen. All right, so on with details on the contests. What we have is a soundtrack CD to 2 films by Lucio Fulci, ideally suited for Halloween season. Some really, really squishy Italian horror films, as in just the intestines are hitting the floor kind of thing. House by the Cemetery, with Freudstein there, and he's holding an eye from the Manhattan Baby, which is an Egyptian curse film. I collaboratively produced this CD with Sean Lewis, who currently runs a really great horror comics print called Iabon Press, and they've done adaptations of some Fulci films and of William Lustig's Maniac and a few other things. Absolutely brilliant comic book, so check his stuff out too. This was done under license from Beat Records. The music on it is by Walter Rosati and Alex Blanksteiner for House by the Cemetery. Rosati also did, I believe, 1990 The Bronx Warriors. And he has some other great albums out there. I have several. The Manhattan Baby music is only 4 cuts from the soundtrack. There's a more extended soundtrack available on LP now, to be honest. It's by Fabio Frizzi, one of my idols, and I'm giving a shout out to him via this video right now. Hi. We also have on here some interviews, an interview that I recorded with Sage Stallone before he passed. Sylvester Stallone's son, who was the co-founder of Grindhouse Releasing, who released The Beyond and several more of Fulci's films over the years, with Bob Murawski. And there were other parties involved at the time, but Bob is the only one who's still with us, I believe. The artwork on this is by Alex Ojeda, who also did the art for my Alucard albums and several other things, a Fulci tribute that we put together, and another soundtrack collection that we put together. Interviews with Catriona MacColl were conducted by Jason Slater, a friend in the UK who provided those recordings for us. And the liner notes are by author Douglas E. Winter, so that's really top of the line as well. And still grateful to Doug for participating as well. He wrote fantastic liner notes for this. So there you have it. The copies that I have remaining are unfortunately open, so you will receive an open disc. This one's got a crack in the cover, so I'll make sure that I find another one that does not. So there you have it. To participate, if you're interested in having this in your collection, create a video that includes some of your favorite soundtrack albums from your collection. Could be in any format. Could be on LP, could be on CD, could be on cassette, could be on 8-track, though that's probably unlikely with that being kind of an obscure kind of thing. But you may surprise me. Upload the video and share it either to the comments in this video or the comments that will be available in the video for favorite horror soundtracks when I get that uploaded in about a week, or in the little 30-second short that I did to mention this contest about 3 days ago. At the end of it, on October 31st, I'm going to take the names of everybody that participated and basically just kind of throw them in a jar or a hat or whatever, and I'll randomly pull one out and somebody will receive the CD. Anybody in the world can participate, because honestly, it's just a CD. How much could it cost to mail the thing to you anywhere in the world globally? Can't be very much at all. So by all means, feel free to participate, and I look forward to seeing what you've got in your collections, especially from abroad, honestly. Just because I collect films that are genre from abroad, so I like Chinese Yangshi, I'm not pronouncing that right, probably, the hopping vampires, and kaiju films with giant monsters from Japan, and Penanggalan, or Menegal, I think they're sometimes called. They're a form of vampire that's commonplace in Indonesian cultures, and I've seen things on them from the Philippines as well, a variant from there. So anyway, all of that is interesting to me, so I'm also interested in soundtracks from such things. So by all means, whatever you've got, yeah, put together a video, and we will be giving away a CD at the end of the month. Thank you again for sitting through with me on one of these, and we'll see you real soon.